So, why is Christianity falling away? Why do we see so many videos about deconstructionists and walking away from the faith and whatnot? Because Christianity has become hypocritical. Why do so many people that believe in Scripture and believe in God and Jesus are feeling like something's wrong, something's off? It's because it is. Quite simply, Christianity only spent moments in the way it was supposed to before a falling empire decided instead of killing Christians, it would take them in and make them the state religion. Why? Because people pay their taxes. Because the followers of Jesus believe that repaying evil for evil doesn't cancel out each other, it's just more evil. But when you repay good for evil, it resets it. You start back at square one. And I know that sounds really, people would call it New Age or whatever, but the Christians were more in tune with one another and more in tune with nature, more in tune with God. Because almost the most quoted verse I remember in Scripture is actually the one that Stephen, Paul, Isaiah, even God himself quoted. Even Solomon quoted this. One scripture is that God does not dwell within a building made by man's hands. That's why even the altars in the beginning weren't supposed to be made of hewn stone. It was supposed to be untouched. See, they agree. It's awful. I see all of these protests around gay pride parades and stuff, and you know what? Sin is sin. But no sin is different. You know why? Because God is eternal, and He can see, like when you look at a woman with lust, it's as if you lust. Why? Because that's the ending. That's where that sin leads to. So every sin is the same to God. That's why He looks at it like that. So when people surround these parades or do whatever, I know these men and women and whatever, they have hardened hearts towards this. You would not see Jesus doing this. Even when Jonah was sent to the Ninevites and Jonah did not want to go, he wanted to see the Ninevites fall. And I've said this before, and it has rubbed people the wrong way. If you read the very last few sentences of Jonah, God is like, why would I let these people that do not understand the right from the left and all these animals, why would I just wipe them out? That's what he says, like a merciful God. And when you've been set free, this is why I see so many, like the people that have ministered to me the most was an entrepreneur. He had a cocaine addiction for a long time, and Jesus set him free. And he used to come to all the time, and he said, I wore the t-shirt, I'd been on all the rides. He's like, I am not going back or whatever. He ministered. I actually have a Bible still from him from prison. Another gentleman was a professor. He had a huge porn addiction, and God set him free. I almost wonder if you have to be the 10th leper, if you have to come back. And a lot of people, that are the 10th leper, the one that comes back, understand these things, that something is wrong. Jesus died on the cross that people could be set free and that we could once again have the Spirit of God dwell within us, because we are temples. And the early Christians understood this, that everyone, it comes out of God and can be a dwelling place of the Spirit of God, and how precious they are. That's why a lot of people that have not actually, that have been in religion and have not had that experience when they have met the Creator and the Creator has reset them to their original state, that the chains of sin have been, and they get reset just like a program, totally reset. These people that are stuck in religion and think that they can do it themselves, or have some significant understanding of the scriptures or whatever that has made them free. I understand the scriptures more than most, but it's because I sought first and God has taught me things. Isaiah 66, you should read it, and then you get a big understanding of why all of this is, and why God had all the sacrifices, and why that when Jesus went in on Passover, he just walked around. Can you imagine the amount of blood everywhere and stuff? And these people just thinking they're holier than thou because there's just animal blood everywhere, and not understanding that they were supposed to turn their stomachs and they were supposed to be like turn away from their sin. But it just became this thing, and it just became this selling point. If you look at where we are now, we're in the exact same spot when Jesus came to set free. So how close are we to his actual return? Love people today, otherwise you're a clanging cymbal. This will bring back the love for the gospel. Is love. If you don't have love, you have nothing. That's all I got to say. If nobody listens, I've got the birds. Take it easy.